You had me keep my breath for a while there. Coming in live here in Gumi, just north of Daegu. We're here with day number 2 of the qualifiers, the Korean server qualifiers for King of Battles number 2, Rey de las Batalas 2021. I'm of course host Yaku of Dizaku, and with me today is La Niña Agria que sabe abrir la tapa, Light _ VIP. How we doing, Light?
What's up, Yaku? Yes, we are here. We are back, and for not the second day in the row, but now we are here with the second qualifier of King of Battles Korean server qualifier.
Yeah, not the second day in a row, but the third day in a row of casting one of these players.
True.
In particular.
Very true.
Speaking of which, we are going to be starting it on Curious Minds LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the Red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. We have, representing Shopify Rebellion, he is ByuN.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Curious Minds LE, as Yaku was saying, we have casted this man for 3 days in a row. It is the Vietnamese Zerg player, the best Zerg player in all of Southeast Asia, representing the Juggernauts. It is MeomaikA.
We need to actually make that streak.
What kind of streak
days in a
is
row we cast one particular player?
Oh yeah. I wonder what the current streak is. Because we have had some pretty like marathon casting periods of like 14 days in a row. But like, who's the player who like lasted the longest time in that period? That's a good question.
My first instinct is probably Demi, but I think that's not entirely true. Like, my first instinct would tell me Demi or MeomaikA, just because they are the ones who sign up for the ESL Open Cups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd have to be like in conjunction with the ESL Open Cups or something like that, or maybe like a Demi C weekly in there or something. Yeah,
or maybe wait. No, because there's nothing on Fridays or Mondays. No, wait, but there was... it could be a Latin player, back when we had, La Spira on Mondays. So it could be Sentimiento into Bota into La Spira.
Yeah, 100%. No, it would be yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be into La Spira and then into like ESL Open Cup Americas or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My money's on eggs.
It's very likely. It's very likely. But here we are diving into this series, and there were a couple of interesting things. As you can imagine, MeomaikA in this matchup, obviously he goes pool first every single game for those queens against Terran. But I am really concerned just because it is his EPT, and as much as I love MeomaikA and as much as I want to believe that he can take it to any player in the world, against a Terran, it's still difficult.
Absolutely. It is straight up his weakest matchup.
Yeah.
Has been for quite some time now. In the past, he has been able to sort of get the jump on Terran players who aren't as used to his unconventional styles and unconventional compositions in the matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. ByuN is nothing if not adaptable.
Yeah, exactly. You're not wrong. And we have to remind everyone, of course, it's kind of a meme. Everyone always brings it up from our region. MeomaikA did 2-0 Maru at LAN at WESG. So again, ByuN, I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of experience playing against MeomaikA. So maybe Meo can do something crazy, as he is going for a very fast lair. But ByuN is moving out with a decent amount of Marines, looking to try and hunt down whatever he can. And this is a kind of scary early push.
Yeah, not the most dedicated push in the world. It is purely Marines. But if MeomaikA is not careful, he may be forced to delay a base. It almost feels like ByuN is using these Marines the way MeomaikA uses his queens to chase out overlords. Already gets 2 of them. Look at that massive supply cap.
Yeah, this is brutal. MeomaikA, he's not going to be able to save this. I think he's going to be forced to cancel. He does have some lings, but again, like these few lings against all these Marines, like it's not going to end well. He's going to try and hold on, but oh my god, he's going to lose some queens.
They are so far off a creep as well. It is not difficult at all for ByuN to just start step forward and take out these queens. Doesn't get the hatchery, but he gets 2 queens, 2 overlords, and weakens the hatchery significantly, the follow-up push is going to be devastating.
Yeah, look at the resources lost. That was a massive win there for ByuN. Obviously, he did give up on a Reaper Scout, so because of that, he doesn't know how early that lair was. He doesn't know how early this Hydra Den is either. So again, even though ByuN dealt a lot of damage, he is in the dark.
Which is something that he's pretty used to, funnily enough, in a TvZ.
It's true, it's very true, it's very true.
Get it?
Meanwhile, the Banshee's about to show up. Oh my god, the Queens died earlier, so there's very limited anti-air. We needed some detection as well as Cloak is about to finish up. Meanwhile, the Banshee does spot that Hydra Den.
Oh, just barely at the edge. Hey, he does confirm that it's coming his way, and he's probably scratching his head thinking, what?
Yeah, I mean, because of the build that he was going for, he doesn't have any tanks right now. He immediately switches his add-ons, and he will be working on a tank, and that'll be amazing against these Hydras, but it's possible for MeomaikA to try and hit a timing before too many tanks come out.
Yeah, one of them is in production right now, but MeomaikA's Muscular Augment, so that's the name of the upgrade, is about to finish up. He can just send his Hydras and his Lings across the map as quickly as possible. ByuN doesn't have too many tanks. In fact, he's still working on getting his first one out, but he still has a lot of bio, and Sim is about to finish up for him.
Yeah, and the problem is that, like, ByuN, he's heavily fortified at his natural. There are no banelings, so MeomaikA won't be able to bust into that natural base. What Meo can do is maybe maintain map control and deny a third base for as long as possible. I hope MeomaikA doesn't try to push up into the natural, because even with one tank here, like, it's going to be so difficult to break.
I say that, but in the back of the mind, I can totally see, I can totally see MeomaikA trying to do that. He's already moving out with his Hydras. Thankfully, he's just hunting the Banshees.
But he's not joining up. That's the thing. Like, he's
no.
he's still stuck at 43 workers. He's making a massive wave of Lings. He's working on his range upgrade. The interesting thing is that with that range upgrade, honestly, ByuN probably could kill that tank from the low ground. But he's still going to take a lot of tank shots to the face.
He really will. But before that, he is going to have to take a lot of Banshee shots to the face. Oh, without groove spines, man.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
Brutal, mate. Brutal. So at least one of the Banshees was dealt with, but the other one is on the way. Meanwhile, this is the moment here for MeomaikA. ByuN, he's going to try and take this third base. With that, he repositions his tanks. Now they're a little bit more exposed on a lower ground. Maybe MeomaikA can make something happen here. Again, like, he's very committed.
Sending his Hydras forward. They have no buffer. The Lings are trying to come in for a flag, but he realizes that's a lot of Marines. I don't have any Banelings. I probably should try, but he is gonna still very good use of choke point here from ByuN. And MeomaikA gets one tank, but not much beyond that. Can he get the second? It's getting low. He does, but how many losses has MeomaikA sustained?
Yeah, that was so close. There was a little bit of missed target fire there by MeomaikA. He focused down the first tank immediately with his Hydras, not the second though. So a lot of tank shots went off, but at least MeomaikA was able to lower that tank count and keep ByuN on 2 bases.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a victory. He gets quite a number of SCV kills as well. Doesn't matter too much at the end of the day economically. Well, it makes them even instead of making ByuN very far ahead.
Well, you say even, like, look at the worker disparity. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking even as long as MeomaikA is unable to, as long as ByuN is unable to land at base. True. But MeomaikA has given that up, so
yeah.
Now it's anything but even.
Exactly. Like, ByuN now is going to skyrocket ahead. MeomaikA does have, you know, again, something up his sleeve, and that is, of course, the Infestors. We've seen MeomaikA do this time and time again. He goes for Infestors for Fungals, relying on them to lock down the army and avoiding Banelings, right? He doesn't go Ling Bane Hydra, he goes Ling Hydra Infestor. And this can work well. Unfortunately, there was no Pathogen Glands, so it's going to take a while for these Infestors to get enough energy for any of their spells.
Yeah, MeomaikA's gonna have to survive till then, but in the meantime, ByuN is just building up to get a larger and larger army. He's producing 9 Marines at a time. His tank count is looking pretty healthy, but just in case he's getting another factory.
Yeah, I'm just so concerned because I think MeomaikA could probably pull this off against, again, a Maru or an Innovation or even a TY. But ByuN, he is so, like, again, sometimes to his detriment, he is so heavily focused on his Marine Micro that, like, it's going to be so difficult.
He will split before the Fungals land.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? Like, it's going to be so difficult to get efficient and, like, valuable Fungals.
Yeah, I mean, we see it, we actually seen it a lot of times. Like, players like, I believe it was Dark tried to pull something similar off, and it just did not work on ByuN specifically, because he just kept splitting. But that was a pretty massive fungal.
Yeah, finally the third fungal that lands connects on the majority of the fire. He's trying to focus down the Medex, and he will get both of them. Oh,
wow.
That was literally the last fungal.
It really was. But at least he made decent use of it. It was a very even trade, but now look at that production of ByuN coming into full force.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first two fungals were whiffs, and without a fungal, Bio can just sim forward, and there's nothing to deal with them. Without banelings, without fungals, like pure Marine can just roll over MeomaikA.
Yeah, best case scenario for Mio, he catches the Bio on the low ground and is able to surround with his Zerglings, but even then it's going to be tough. It's 2-2, by the way. 2-2 Marines versus 0-0 Zerg right now.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of an anti-timing. 1-1 is on the way for MeomaikA, but it's not ready yet. He whiffed another fungal. He's going to have one ready, but he has to be so careful. And even then, like, where are all those lings?
On the way, but not here yet. This is kind of important.
Oh god, exactly. The Evo Chambers are being taken out. At least 1-1 was able to finish up. And again, there is enough energy for one final fungal for MeomaikA. And it does kind of connect.
Yeah, it gets a couple of units, but nowhere near enough of them. This third base that was weakened from the start of the game is finally going to go down.
Exactly. And with that is the game. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1.
That he does. Wonder what he thinks of. I wonder what's going through his head right now. He's like, okay. No banelings. All right, well, I guess I don't have to micro, question mark, but I want to micro.
It was a rough game there. I mean, again, MeomaikA, like, we saw where he wanted to go there, but yeah, it's kind of struggled in the process.
Yeah. We saw where he wanted to go. We see that he didn't quite get there.
Unfortunately. But now we're getting ready to dive into game number 2. I would also ask you, Yaku, could you actually lower your gain a little bit?
Okay.
Oh god. And I love how we feel very conflicted as well. Like, someone in the chat's like, there's a weird feeling being both a ByuN fanboy and a Vietnamese fanboy. It's like, yeah, it's
yeah. Well, we shall see.
It's one of those things where it's always rough watching two players that you're a fan of fight each other, you know?
Yeah, watching your kids go at it. Break tearing this family apart as we continue our series on Berlingrad LE. I'm noticing a bit of a pattern here with our two maps. In the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be Representado Shopify Rebellion. We have Micro Jackson himself, ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player representing the Juggernauts. Once again, opening up with a pool first, it is MeomaikA.
Got a fun fact for you, Light. MeomaikA's name on the Asia server is not his real name.
It's not.
It isn't.
Oh god, there was a translation. It's it translates to Vietnamese to I think it's like Noob Slayer or something like that.
Right, that's ringing a couple of bells. I think somebody told us about that.
But it's not like a direct translation to Noob Slayer. It's like a pun. It's like a pun that means that. Yeah. It's like eating tuna or something. Like, it's like eating food like easily or something like that.
You call it Maru Slayer.
If someone in the chat will let us know, we would appreciate the translation if there are any Vietnamese people. As oh, that's a fast roach warren.
Very, very quick. MeomaikA taking a page off of Gogo Joey's book.
Oh god, but there's an SCV scout. There are a couple of links here, and again, the goal of these things are to deny this scout, and so far the SCV doesn't try to go into the main.
Yeah, and once again, ByuN is skipping out on his... No, never mind, he is getting the Reaper.
I was thinking of the same thing. Like, this would have been a great opener for game 1 because ByuN avoided the Reaper, but here in game 2, he did go for the Reaper, so he will be able to scout this eventually, but the roaches are already on the way, and the Reaper is a little bit distracted.
Yeah, not actually going immediately across the map. Understandably, ByuN wants to use the Reaper to take out the Lynx. He doesn't have too many defensive units back at home yet.
Yeah, exactly. So even though all of these things are going to be cleaned up, and sure, they didn't really delay and deny the natural base, at least they kept these roaches from being scouted. So a kind of best case scenario here for Mia.
Here's the thing. Because ByuN wasn't able to scout, and because we are on Kaliningrad, he immediately throws down the bunker on the high ground, just in case, and his suspicions were confirmed. Roaches are in fact on the way.
Exactly. Meanwhile, the roaches, they're still going to be able to force the CC to be lifted up. There is high ground vision here, but that's going to be gone soon because, yo, we do have a cyclone on the way. And thankfully for MeomaikA, he only made 4 roaches. Like, he's droning up from here. Yo, and he's actually not going for the CC. Oh.
Yeah, able to go straight for the throat while there aren't too many units out yet.
Yeah.
Can't exactly stay here for long. Can't chip away at that supply depot from the low ground, but again, shouldn't be able to break through.
Yeah, I mean, he gets the depot. You know, that's not bad. He didn't invest into Ravagers, and oh my god, he's going for a massive wing flood behind this, hoping that the depot doesn't get rebuilt.
You know what? Why not?
I
was probably thinking I should remake that depot somewhere else. No, never mind. He does rebuild it at the wall location.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, the Lings are flooding across the map. We have Ling speed on the way here. Once Ling speed kicks in, MeomaikA can hunt down this cyclone.
Yeah, it is very, very exposed. Plenty of wide open area to get surrounded.
Oh
Rogers are on the way now. The overlords, man. They just get picked off one after another.
Yeah, the supply block is real, but you know what? Again, this army is very exposed. The Lings come in immediately. They surround both cyclones.
Very good pick off here, but what is MeomaikA able to do from here? Oh, the wall is not a wall!
Oh, it is
but the
not.
body blocking is insane.
It is pretty insane. All the Lings get taken out immediately. Oh my god, the body blocking was crazy, but the low ground is still forfeit, so MeomaikA will still keep ByuN on 1 base economy.
Yeah, 1 base economy. He takes out 8 SCVs, which puts the worker count pretty close. It's difficult to say that MeomaikA has the advantage, though, because, you know, mules.
Yeah, I mean, he made another wave of Lings. He's gonna try and push in again. Oh, no, but the first tank is gonna come out. Ay, with this tank.
Oh, but if he can get high ground vision.
Yeah, he just needs vision, mate. That's all he needs, and then he can maybe bile it down.
The Ravagers are getting close, but the Bio is well in position to chase everything away. He repositions his tank, and oh man,
that was.
I feel like MeomaikA's in this Goldilocks position, right, where he droned up a little bit early. He went for the Roach Warren first, right, and then he droned up, so he neither was able to get a really good economy earlier on, nor was he able to do a lot of damage early on.
Yeah, exactly. I also want to praise ByuN there because he recognized that his tank was exposed, so he immediately just like repositions it. It was just so well done. And now ByuN, he's moving up with these drops. He's gonna catch all these overlords. Oh my god, just continuing to find damage. And MeomaikA can't really stop this. Like, sure, he has an army, but like he doesn't have a lot of anti-air. Actually, Cloak isn't done.
Oh yeah, Cloak isn't done.
That's a lot of damage is done to this Banshee, but in 1 second, Cloak will finish up here. Just in time.
Cloak is done. But there's a Spore Crawler.
Up. Uno más.
Un momento, por favor!
Oh.
No. Pulls away just in time. Ah, man, that's gotta be annoying. Meanwhile, the drop is making its way to the main base just before Spore Crawlers can finish up. This queen should go down.
Oh, the queen. Yeah, it survives 4. Now the target fire is not there. And MeomaikA, in the end, he does end up losing 4 workers, but it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Could have been a little better.
Oh boy.
Meo, again, just opting for... Well, he's focusing a lot more on Lings this time, actually getting +1 melee as well as Carapace. So maybe instead of Hydra Ling, he's gonna go instead for... There we go! Baneling Nest!
Baneling Nest is thrown down. MeomaikA is doing the impossible. He is going Ling Bane. That's insane. We'll see if he can pull this off though, because again, a lot of Larva is going to be required. We have to have a decent economy. Sorry, MeomaikA actually did drone up pretty well.
Yeah, pretty surprisingly, honestly, and he is doing a pretty good job of just scouting around with his Lings. ByuN doesn't have a third base yet, but if he did go for one, it would be a little... MeomaikA would definitely make it a little bit difficult on him to actually land at.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. I mean, again, MeomaikA has to be careful. He doesn't want to just throw away all these things for free here. Potentially could catch a tank, but no, the Marines are in position.
Gotta love the positioning from ByuN, man. He knows each and every time how to cover his blind spots in a way.
Yeah, that he does. Meanwhile, the Banshee's just going to town here, picking up whatever they can, almost get one of the Ravagers, but again, they want drones more than anything else. Unfortunately, again, there just aren't any queens. This is the problem with how MeomaikA plays this matchup, is that because he doesn't spread any creep, he doesn't have any additional queens to help in the anti-air to deal with stuff like Banshees.
I mean, I feel like you could have just stopped that. This is the problem with MeomaikA and ZVT. He doesn't spread creep.
Yeah. And that will impact the Ling Bane. That's the problem. Typically, when you play Ling Bane, you want to engage on creep. You want to wait for the Terran player to try and push into you. But because of the lack of creep spread, like, it will kind of weaken this style.
Yeah, it feels amazing when you're able to connect Banelings onto Marines off a creep, but... You know, are you actually going to be able to do that? That's the question.
Yeah. That is a real question. Meanwhile, one of the queens got taken out. The second queen is going to go down as well. Oh my god, the Banshees are still alive, getting so much damage done. 2 queens and 7 drones.
Man, despite not having Cloak, ByuN just finds the one position that these Banshees can really go to town. He pulls away every time. It seems like he's getting close as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is devastating damage. This is almost game-winning damage being done here by ByuN. Gonna find another queen as well. ByuN just really...
She still don't go down.
Yeah, there's just no anti-air. You know, it's just Biles and that's it. Oh, God.
ByuN has not even pushed out his main army yet.
He has not, mate. I mean, he's ramping up. To be fair, in a main army engagement, MeomaikA can still make something happen, but like, it's these small skirmishes where he is being pulled apart. You know, we have another drop here towards the north. More overlords go down. There is, I guess, kind of an army here, but the Banelings were a little bit late.
Yeah, this will have a knock-on effect as the lost resources stack up. MeomaikA has had enough. He knows that he's taking too much damage. He needs to equalize in some way. But I'm just looking at the defenses of ByuN, man.
Yeah, you don't want to push into this. You really do not. Maybe MeomaikA's plan is going to be to deny the 4th base for as long as he can. That can definitely work, but actually he's pushing in.
No, feels a little bit mistimed as well. Tried to go in for a flank, but yeah, it's not exactly working out. Oh, but a sandwich of Marines. Banelings, unfortunately, not quite able to connect yet. And ByuN is able to chew through everything, despite the 2-2 of MeomaikA.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Lings did break into the mineral line, so a lot of SCVs are going down, but at the same time, we have that double drop. The 4th base is going down. GG gets called, and ByuN takes the series 2-0.
He does what Maru could not.
He did. Meanwhile, chat's catching up. They're watching those two banshees just go to town, and win beyond the game. Meanwhile, shout out to Kenny Tenny's son in the chat. He explained that it does mean it translates to selling onions.
Onions. Oh.
And the interpretation that I first heard of that was that it was as if that he was kind of like making his opponents cry because he was giving his opponents onions.
Yeah, that. No, that makes that makes sense.
But Kenny is also saying that it could be interpreted as like, I guess he's making himself cry. So, I don't know.
No, because the words are similar in Vietnamese. Yeah. So it's both.
Okay. But regardless.
So yeah, that's the duality of MeomaikA.
That's the duality, mate. Congratulations to ByuN. He does move on in the brackets to the next round, where he will be waiting for the winner of Zaun versus ByuN.
Ooh.